What's up, bro? Didn't join the army. Decided to be a YouTuber instead. Get that YouTube money. No, but I'm not even lying. I mentioned this a couple times that I wanted to join the army, like here and there. Actually, originally when I was a kid, I wanted to be a fighter pilot. It's actually not even that long ago. It was like 3, 4 years ago. I wanted to be a fighter pilot, and I was playing like flight simulators. I had the VR setup. I had the HOTAS, as they call it, like hands on stick and throttle. Like I had the full setup. I was like really into it. And it was good fun. It was good fun. Like I learned a lot about like F-16s, F-18s. The dream would have been like fly an F-35, but the F-35s that the Australian Air Force has are kind of gimped. I think they use F-35As. The real cool ones are the F-35Bs, but we don't have any. We don't have any carriers. The F-35B can also do vertical landing. It's too gangster. It's like too gangster not to want to fly. But I would have been content with the F-35A. Even the F-35A is pretty cool. But yeah, that was my initial goal. But I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't so passionate about it that I wanted to commit 7 years. Like 7 years was just a little bit much. A little bit much, you know. And then, I kind of just forgot about the whole idea. Kind of got out of flight simulators and all that. I'm just like, got girlfriends, this and that. So just busy with other stuff. And then later, I eventually hear about a gap year program. So there's there's a military gap year program in my country, in the Australian Defence Force. And I decided, I was thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? This could actually be really good. Finish year 12, join as my initial goal was be an officer, which is like the leader, like one of the leaders, and do that for a year, be amazing experience as a leader. That's what I always knew that I wanted to, or recently, especially now, like I started thinking, I'm like, you know what, having some kind of good leadership skills is immense. For any, like if you want to have like high paying jobs, it's always some kind of leadership role. It's the only way you can get like really good high paying jobs, is be a good leader. Trying to leader, learn immense amount of life skills. And honestly, even now, if you have no idea what you want to do in your life, I would recommend join the army, join the military, join, defense force. Very great. If you have zero idea, the thing is, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew that there was other stuff that I'd rather do. Although I can't hate anyone that does it. I cannot. Like anyone who does it, good on them. It's a really good thing, I think. And there's a lot of benefits like dental care and this and that, a good paying salary, all that. So, it was tempting, but at the end of the day, there's some things that happen. And I'm like, ah. So I actually got pretty close to enlisting. So the position I signed up for, officer, actually closed. Like, or it didn't close. It's just it was full. So then they're like, oh, you can't do this. And I did it too late. So like, oh, okay. Well, I'm like, I still kind of want to do army. I guess I'll be a soldier. And there was actually benefits of being a soldier compared to a officer. So I'm like, oh, I guess I'll be a soldier. Just boots on ground, just that guy. And I was kind of into. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of into it. So I was like, it's whatever. It's pretty close to enlisting. Everything. I passed the interview, and then I had to do some medical checks and all that. But I have asthma. I've had asthma since I was 13, roughly 12, 13. That's when I was diagnosed. To be honest, it was never that bad. Like when I was younger, I kind of had it like quite a bit, and then it kind of just like disappeared. I didn't really suffer from it too much. To be fair, I was never really the athletic kid either, so it never really was like testing my system. I was kind of just playing video games and all that, so I didn't really know. But yeah, I did have asthma, and I didn't want to lie, so I said, yeah, I was diagnosed with asthma. And then they had to test it, and they're like, yeah, actually, it's kind of bad. Like, you can't, we can't really accept this right now. Like, the condition I was in, they couldn't accept it. The only way to get into the army from then, with the condition that I had, would be to be under asthma preventative medication. The thing is, I didn't want to do it. Like, I did it for 3 months, but then turned out we did it wrong. My GP prescribed double the dose that I should have had. I should have only had 1 dose. I had 2 doses. And there was just so much annoying stuff with it. After this 3-month trial period, I would have had to do another 3 months. I'm like, just doing my head in, it was doing my head in. And at this time, I started getting more into like soccer, just playing and sprinting around. And my asthma recently started getting bad. Like it got like a lot worse suddenly. And things that I used to be able to run, like I used to be able, well, I probably still could right now, but you take the soccer pitch and you would sprint, then you would jog, then you would sprint, then you would jog, then you sprint, you would jog, and you keep doing that. And it's just good for your cardio, good for like that intense and then slow, intense and slow. That's basically soccer. And I've done that before, like quite a few times. And then I did it once. I was just I was training by myself. It was night. It was like not. It was kind of late. It was late at night. I was training, and then I got really bad asthma. I was like, I didn't have a pump. I don't. I had, even right now I don't have a pump. To be fair, it's kind of irresponsible of me, but I just don't have a pump. And I was just kind of dying there for like 10 minutes. I was genuinely like half like very lightheaded, like kind of like cold sweats. It was like really bad. And I don't really have it that bad where like I can't breathe. Like I don't feel like I can't breathe. It's more like I just can't about to pass out. Although I guess it's the same thing. I don't know. Like just very for me, the feeling is that I'm puffed out. Like I literally just like you know when you like you sprint and then you're puffed out and then it goes away after a minute. That's like me, but for like the initial puffed outness, like especially the first like couple seconds, or maybe like the first like 30 seconds to a minute, that's like me for 10 minutes. Like it just lasts forever. So then when I realized this, I'm like, maybe I was just not made to be a soldier. I feel like if I really wanted to, I could be on the medication and maybe even get in. But I'm like, I don't know. I'd rather not be on the medication if I don't have to. And I just felt like maybe this is just not my calling, to be honest. And then there were just other things like my initial plan was that as soon as I finish year 12, I go into the army, do it for a year, and then go to uni. But because there was this kind of waiting period, I'm like, all right, let me just go to uni this year and then just see where it goes because it's not guaranteed. Like, I didn't get to the point where, you could say, like, okay, now it's just up to you. Like, when do you want to start? So I never got to that point. So there's no guarantee when I could start. And then I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll do this. Like, I'll do 1 year of uni and then stop, join the army for 1 year, stop, go back to uni. But then it's a bit messy. I'm like, I've got asthma and there's this big mess. So I'm like, it's probably not it. And then YouTube started popping off, you know? YouTube has been popping off recently. So I'm like, you know what? I think it's an amazing thing, genuinely. If you are a young man, you have no idea what you want to do, look into the army. I'm telling you, if you go through it, it will be one of the best things in your life. I know it would have been one of the best things in my life, but it just seems like there was other callings in my life and it doesn't seem like I was really made to be a soldier. But genuinely, I would happily do it. If I could do it and everything worked to plan, I'd probably do it still. But alas, this is where I ended up. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this little story time with Mashed. If you liked, please like, subscribe. It helps me out. See you guys next time. Peace.